Hello and welcome to Story Garden. Before we get started with today's episode, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you for constantly encouraging me, nudging me to do more and more videos. Really enjoying this journey with all of you. In the previous episode, we spoke about how knowing purpose actually helps us to learn something, do something that we always wanted to do, but when we have a block, knowing purpose will help. That's what we learned in the previous episode. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about equally important. Yes, now we know our purpose of why we are doing something. We are fully motivated and want to do things. But how do we get started? This is what we are going to discuss in today's episode. For this, as always, I want to share a story from my own life, taking you back to many years ago. I studied in a Telugu medium till my plus 2. After plus 2, I wanted to switch to English medium because, as I told you in previous episode, I stood first in my plus 2 HEC group, that is History, Economics, Civics, and the college told me, now I think you should go to English medium, and I opted for English literature. And everything was going well. People were very happy to have me in the class because, by then everybody knew that I stood first in the state. But when I started going to classes, the problem started. The college that I studied is Andhra Level College, where generally we have people across states come and study there. A lot of seminarians, Jesuit seminarians are also, study there. So every classroom is, filled with students from every state. So the common language that is generally used in the classroom is English. And in the classroom of English literature, what else do you expect? Everybody was very fluent and talking in English, having conversations. Some of them are very social as well, building friendships and all that. But I was not able to speak English. Obviously, I studied in Telugu medium till then. All that I knew was, hello, how are you? Did you have your lunch? Those are very basic conversations. So I used to go into the class along with the lecturer so that, I don't need to make any small talk with anyone, speak anything with anybody else because, the lecturer comes and then he or she starts the lecture. So I don't need to have any conversation with anybody. But I was not comfortable with that because I was feeling that I'm not being myself because I'm a curious person. I want to make conversations. I want to talk to people. So I wanted to really learn English, and I realized the purpose for me to learn English. However, how do I get started? How do I, how do I learn English? It's good to say, yes, learn English. I know the purpose, but how? Yeah, like many people, I started, going and studying grammar and all that. But somehow I couldn't learn English that way. Then one day I was thinking, what is that I really enjoy doing is listening to cricket. Those days, radio cricket commentary used to be there and all that. So I love to follow cricket. And I told you in my, one of the episodes earlier, how curious I was every day to go to my mom and asking her to read newspaper to me so that I know the cricket score. So to cut the long story, so I said, oh, wow, this is something I want to do, but I can use this opportunity of my desire to listen to cricket commentary. I can use that to pick up English. When I started listening to cricket, I started making notes. Those days I used to use tape recorder with the cassettes. So some of you may not even know what the cassette tape sets are. But, those days we used to have these cassettes where we, as a visually impaired child, I used to record and listen to the lectures and, school books, college books and all that. So I used to have that recorder. So whenever I was listening to cricket commentary, I used to also put the cassette and record some of the phrases, some of the new words that I'm learning into the recorder and save it so that I can re-listen to it or, memorize that phrase and then go to somebody and ask for the meaning of that or start using that phrase in the conversation somehow. So that has helped me to actually pick up English. Today I'm able to freely converse. Of course, I have been a long journey in learning English, and I went on to do masters in English literature. But it all started because I converted my need to learn English into something very joyful experience, because I found that I learn English better if I am playing cricket or if I'm seeing cricket. I think that's the lesson for me, saying that how can we convert our needs into a joyful process of it. In this case, I chose cricket to learn English. Thereafter, I developed interest for political analysis. So I started reading newspaper and the columns and all of that. That has given me next level of vocabulary and helped me to grow. So all that, I think my learning from all this is, if you can convert your need into something where you can also enjoy and learn a skill, I think that is wonderful. For example, imagine if you always wanted to learn coding and you love playing games. Maybe you learn code by creating games so that you actually enjoy that. So that power of making something joyful. So please do share, how have you converted your need or your need to acquire a skill or something into a joyful process. Also share, hearing me, I'm sure you may be wondering currently what is the skill or what is that you wanted to pick up, acquire, and what vehicle that you can use to make it a joyful process for you. Eager to learn from you, and we will be waiting to read your comments. And please share this video to as many people as you can, because it will be easy for others to find. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.